come into the London session open, which is there at 8 o'clock, there is the trend line. You see what happened? Very sharp, very clear, very, very direct. There's the clear break right there. Market is obviously not trending at the open. The first thing that happened was bottom edge, breaking through this trend line, and then buying away from that for a very, very big upside buy-side pop. Very big upside buy-side pop in that way. Into the US Open, of course, we start at 1 o'clock, unless we've got big US data coming out at 1:30. Well, we didn't really have big US data coming out at 1:30 today, did we? Right, we had no US data coming out at 1:30. So it's 1 o'clock is the starting point, and that makes life difficult for us, because at 1 o'clock, you can see that we've got a trend line that goes up and a trend line that goes down. So obviously we've got to start the whole process over again from this highest high. This is the most recent point. It is driving the price down just now, and obviously that's the current pre-market trend. Is sell side going into the cash open, sell side going into the cash open, and that's what you should be trying to trade with. You should be trying to trade with that sell side into the cash open and seeing if you can grab a quick bit of cash out of that bit of business. And obviously that's exactly how this market's evolved. If you see the trend evolving, you jump on board it. Simple as. I've been selling a little bit of S&P through that phase, trying to capture a little bit of this downside potential. And obviously the Americans coming to their desks, their first thought is, where are we going here? And you can see obviously that the first idea of this trade at the present moment, as we come into the cash open, the first idea here is obviously currently to be in the pre-market short. That's the way it's playing out just now, and obviously we just have to watch how that plays. If we move along to the S&P, we can do exactly the same process. It normally lines up, but not always. If we look at the S&P, we see the same basic idea pre-market. You can see that the 6:30 pre-market on the S&P almost identical to the NASDAQ this morning. You can see exactly what happened here in terms of pre-market, in terms of the break. And you can see that it's retested, 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 boom, straight up. Straight up, why don't you? Beautiful bit of business. On the short side, you can't draw any uptrend line, so it's got to be a downtrend line. And therefore, you're trying to be in that short coming into the pre-market, trying to grab a little bit of business, and then it accelerates pre-market in a very, very nice takeaway from that bit of business on the short side of the trend. And that's where we're at just now. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy, pretty crazy easy, but it is what it is. This afternoon, we're going to talk a little bit about market makers. Do they know, and this is the critical question, do they know which direction the market's going to go? That's the question that was posed to me by an intern this morning who had sat in on a webinar or class or something from somebody that was teaching market makers trade techniques, and he had a lot of questions that he got from that presentation, and we'll be able to take a look at it. We'll take a look at some of the questions that he asked me so that we can deal with the answers.